It's gonna come out good. I promise. Watch, I'm telling you.
Okay.
You just gotta start with the good energy. Like what it do got to be like the energy part.
What it do?
People want to hear the energy and be like, oh, what are you talking about? Boom. Right?
What
Like
it
if you just
do?
do, hey, what it do, and then people gonna be like, man, fuck that. He ain't talking about nothing. Right?
What it do?
What it do? You ain't got to say your name. Just what it do.
What it do?
HTP episode 10.
What it do? HTP episode 10. Welcome in.
Man, what it do, y'all? Episode 10, Humbletalk podcast. It's your boy Feast, as always. And welcome back in. We hit double digits, y'all. We finally hit double digits. Been some work along the way, but we made it. Appreciate everybody that's been here for the ride. I humbly appreciate it, man, from the bottom of my heart. Hope y'all continue to ride with me on this journey, and let's ride this thing till the wheels fall off. First things first, because I'm a sports fan, got to give a shout out to all the teams in the NBA that made it to the playoffs. Go Warriors. They play tonight. We're going to see how that goes. But with that being said, I know missed a couple weeks. I'm going to update you guys along the way as we go about where I've been, things like that. But for today, kind of been in a homesick style situation. So because I've been homesick a little bit and I kind of just been missing home, I figured I'd give you guys a story time today. Just a little bit more insight as to who I am and how I came to be. So the last story that I did speak of was about the time that I kind of went through some domestic violence things in my childhood and things like that, and kind of led to me some of the build up of what led me to kind of being homeless at one point. But for this week, because I've really been missing the guys, I think I'm gonna go back a little bit. Well, I guess a little bit forward in that story rather than backwards in that story. Browntown's neighborhood that I grew up in, west side of Wilmington. Shout out to everybody from Browntown. Y'all know who y'all are, right? Love y'all boys to death. Moved to Browntown, and that was an environment that was really, really insulated. And I say that to say where the neighborhood was, it was like off in the cut, and it was a main street that kind of was on the side of the neighborhood, but everybody kind of lived in that neighborhood, got along with everybody in the neighborhood, opposite of your little, your back and forth little issues from time to time that you may have. But overall, pretty solid neighborhood, man. I love that neighborhood. Honed a lot of my skills in that neighborhood in a couple different aspects, and definitely miss that neighborhood. When I go home, I definitely go back and visit. It's not the same, of course, being that I'm 35 now and I was 13 when I left, but it's definitely definitely a different situation. So with that said, I kind of want to talk about a little bit of that. So overall, there was a group of us. As a group, there was probably 17 or 18 of us that was together. I don't want to say on a regular, but semi-regularly. Man, I mean, we're outside, we shooting hoops, we playing football in the street. We at the park playing tackle. We at Rocky Park on the sleds. Well, not correction, we ain't have sleds, but on the trash can lids, the cardboard boxes during snow time, sliding down the hill, all that. A lot of times we moved as a group, not all 17, but any given time you might see 5, 6 of us at a time out across town on a bus, hanging out, whatever. And we did that as young guys. This is where the notion that I have about kids being socially awkward comes from, right? Like we was outside, we was intermingling, we was in probably towns we shouldn't be in. We hanging with people we shouldn't be hanging with, but it's all part of the process. So amongst that, man, I guess like I said before, we have our little back and forth, have our squabbles, things happen, whatever the case may be. One time in particular that always kind of sits inside of me when I think about the good old days is when it snows a lot back home, and when it snows a lot, of course, like we have snow days, but it takes a lot of snow for us to have snow days. Unlike in Texas, where if you get 6 inches of snow, or you get a flurry, they shut down school for the week. Everybody's in an accident, and nobody does anything. It's the complete opposite where I'm from. When there's snow, I mean, we have row houses where I'm from, and we would open the front door, and because we had row houses, our kitchen, our dining room, and our living room were all in a straight line. All the bedrooms were upstairs, and you could walk from your kitchen, run full speed through your house, in most houses, and jump out your front door and land in snow. We're talking 3, 4, sometimes 5 feet of snow. Um, the coolest thing ever. To this day, where I can't deal with, I can't deal with Christmases because there's no snow. It's hard to be in the Christmas spirit without snow. It's hard to be in the Christmas spirit with shorts on. I just ain't wired that way, and for as long as I've been here, I haven't been able to get over that thing. And so hopefully, hopefully it's something that I'll get over at some point. Just hadn't got over it yet. So this one time in particular had snowed, and we actually didn't have a snow day. We actually had to go to school, and so we got up. We're getting situated. We all meet at the bus stop, and as you can imagine, being youngsters at the time, all hell breaks loose. Biggest snowball fight at a bus stop I've ever seen. I mean, of course, our bus stops are on the corner, on the main road. There's cars driving by. We're throwing snowballs at cars. We throwing snowballs at buses. People are stopping, swerving, pulling over, cussing at us. Trying to again, we're kids. Could we had caused some accidents? Yes. Like, did we break some windows along the way? Yes. Like, the guys definitely threatened bodily harm to us as kids. Yes. The problem is that there was probably 12, 13 of us on the bus stop. There was one of you, and we wasn't running nowhere. So unless you had a baseball bat or something that go boom with you, you was going to take that L along with this broken window accidentally and keep it moving. But this day in particular, the snowball fight had carried on, and it had went on so far that we ended up. Side note: this is back when starter jackets was popping. Well, the stuff comes back from time to time, and that's all cool. But this is back when starter jackets were starter jackets. This is back then. Anywho, we get on the bus. We have a snowball fight on the bus. This snowball fight, you get your starter jacket. You might stuff like 5, 6 snowballs in that front pouch that you got. You know what I mean? Then you got the Velcro pouch. You might throw a couple extra in there. So we riding. We on the bus. We throw a couple snowballs in the bus. Well, this thing leads to us getting off the bus at school and having to walk into a building. So when we get off the bus, we reloading. So we get into school, and I'll never forget. We get into the hallway. We in the cafeteria. Snowball fight in school. It's middle school. Snowball fight in school. You know what I'm saying? Teachers mad, principals mad. They trying to stop us. We run in the hallway, mind you. This ain't the best. This ain't the best type of scenario to be in, but we kind of did what we wanted to do in school. Not to say that that's a good thing, but again, like a lot of times, you have a lot of people that are in situations that they're young. They kind of have real life that goes on that may be bigger than what's going on at school at the moment, and because of that, they need a release. And being able to go to school was a gift and a curse. It was a gift because you're able to get away from the things that are ailing you mentally at home or whatever's going on. It's a curse because you actually need school, but in that moment it don't matter. So we go to school and all hell would just break loose. Well, that day we just decided to have a snowball fight in school. I remember a couple guys and myself had ended up getting grabbed up, and I had snowballs in my starter jacket still. We're sitting in an office, and we hadn't even been to first period yet. This is literally getting to school. I'm in an office. The teacher comes in, and they're talking to me. Hey, we think you guys are having a snowball fight. And I'm like, look, listen, not me. I would never. You know what I mean? I don't know who's doing it. They're telling me those guys are on your wing. We think they came off your bus. Yada yada yada. We know you know something. Look, listen. My name Bennett, and I ain't in it. I don't know nothing. Mind you, I had 3 fully loaded snowballs in my front jacket the whole time I'm talking to them. Good thing, they didn't. This wasn't back when they was like frisking kids and all that, so it wasn't a big deal. So the guys leave. I throw the snowballs like Kobe. Like I shoot them into the trash can in the corner. Why I did that, I don't know. I shoot these 3 snowballs. I missed 2 of them because I've never been a basketball player. I missed 2. I land the 3rd one. Instead of me going over and scooping the ice up and putting it in the trash can, I just leave it. I go out into the hallway after they let me go. I'm walking in the hallway, and something tells me to turn around. I turn around, and as I'm turning around, teacher is walking out of the office, who didn't seen the ice that I done left from the snow on the ground. And as I'm looking at this teacher, I get hit in the back of the head with a snowball that one of my guys still had, who had been waiting on me to get out of the office. So now I've got no ammo. I done shot everything I got in this trash can in his office. The teacher caught the ice in the snow in the classroom. I done throw it away, trying to get rid of the evidence. My starter jacket is soaked. I got evidence all over my jacket, and in the active hallway, I get hit in the back of the head with a snowball. So needless to say, like like this childhood was wild, right? Boom. So we all get in trouble for that. It is what it is. And it's just moments like that, man, just make you appreciate the little things. Sometimes we get so caught up on the things that don't matter that we forget about the things that really do matter and the things that really do shape us sometimes. You know, uh, I've been blessed to have lived in multiple places and have been able to get relationships and have relationships with people that are far different than me and guys that are just like me. The easiest thing to have amongst people that you got genuine love for and respect for is lack of communication. I don't have to talk to some people, for them to know what's going on. They might look at me and go, something's up with you. They might not know exactly what it is, but they know something's going on with you. They know when you're off kilter. And that's kind of how it was. We rode together. When it was wartime, it was that too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm on this side of the school, they're on that side of the school. Hey, Stefan, we heard this, or hey, I don't want to put too many of my guys' names on here, but they know who they are. When it was time to get together and go do what we needed to do, we got together and did what we needed to go do. You know what I'm saying? And definitely took some suspensions and all that, and they were well worth it for the most part and all that. So, yeah, man, that neighborhood, bro, it was love, and it was treacherous at the same time. You know what I mean? There's a lot of there's a lot of bad blood amongst neighborhoods surrounding us at that point in time, man. And the house parties that we would go to together, even outside of school, we'd get together and we go to these house parties. This is back when, again, we got basements back home. A lot of places in Texas, they don't have basements. I don't think anywhere I've ever been to has had a basement. But back home we have basements. And, you go to the house party, and the house party, it's a house party, but it's in the basement. And so we're in these house parties, and we might be, I don't know, 10 deep. It might be 10 of us. You know what I'm saying? We'll walk. You know what I'm saying? Everything, a lot of stuff is walking distance. We'll walk over there, hang out. You know what I'm saying? Get some numbers or whatever. Just go kick it. You know what I mean? Enjoy yourself. And then whatever happens at the end of the night, usually fist fight, shootout. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I mean? From time to time, that's just what come with it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like it again, it's just a childhood, man. It's just being on Union Street, being on the bus, and sometimes some of these parties be so cool, man. You might jump on the bus and ride 30 minutes to a house party. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the bus stop running at a certain time, and you got to figure out how to get home. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to figure this out. Like, so I mean, those moments of just being stranded and trying to figure out what to do next. Like, how do we get from here home? It's 1 a.m. It's 10 of us outside. We're gonna figure it out together. As long as I look to the right, to the left of me, and I'm cool with the people that stand next to me, we're gonna figure it out. And nothing bad gonna happen at the very least. And house parties, man, was it, man. Like it's just all these things, just being outside on a block, or on a stoop, just hanging out on the corner, 1 in the morning. Hanging out with the fellas, just kind of talking and kind of being able to get an understanding of who these people are in real life. It's a blessing to be able to have that experience. A lot of kids never have that experience of having friends that you got love with that much to just sit and just kind of like really just be there for one another. A lot of times now you see it, but there's a motive attached to it. There's always something in the background that may be pushing that narrative as to why they want to help, or why they feel as though they want to be there for their friend or whatever. This is back when there was nobody had nothing. You know what I mean? When nobody has nothing, the motive can't be anything, because there's nothing to get. There's nothing to get. Man, it's so crazy, man. like I said, I've been homesick lately, like a lot lately, and I'm definitely gonna make that trip soon. I have to. I mean, but sometimes I get like that, and I just kind of I'm just in my head sometimes, and I just think about different situations I've gone through, things like that, just like this one. So I'm with one of the homies, and he had a lady at the time, and his lady, I think it was her birthday that was coming up, and he wanted to get her some stuff for her birthday. So we jump on a bus, we jump on a 5 down Maryland Avenue. We go to Christiana Mall. Christiana Mall is like out in Newark, like in the outs, like suburbs compared to the inner city where we stayed. So we shoot out there, and this is a Saturday. I never forget it's a Saturday. Well, at the time, I don't know about now, but at the time, the city buses don't run on Sundays. So we're out there Saturday, we hanging out, whatever the case may be. I remember distinctly we're in a food court. My homie gets into a fight with a dude, whatever the case may be. That's over with. It ends, whatever. Well, through us hanging out, just kind of chilling and just having a good time, we missed the last bus for the night to go home. Excuse me. So, as we missed this last bus, we're trying to figure out like what to do. Like at the time, like I said, like this is after the point where I had spoke to prior, where the whole drug thing and my parents going through their thing. So my mom wasn't around. And that's a sadder story that we'll get to later, but I just want to be uplifted in the moment. So I couldn't call her. He didn't have anybody to call, so we're here just stuck at this mall, walking around. We just spent all the money we got. We had a bus pass, an all-day bus pass. So, the all-day bus pass was we Gucci. All you gotta do is get on a bus. You know what I'm saying? And we just, I don't know how we missed that, but we just missed it, and we're just at the mall hanging out. Well, there's a department store that we ended up going into, and this department store is it's called Strawbridge's, and it's like a JCPenney's or a Macy's, style department store where they have, clothes and everything, and then they have like bedding and stuff upstairs. Well, we go inside and we kind of just peeping the scene out, and I'm just like, in my brain, I'm thinking like, you know what, like I'm not like sleeping outside, like I'm not. That's not where I'm at with it. Like I'm not sleeping outside, and so we go. And we decide to try to sleep in a department store. So what we did was we walked around the store, did some shopping or whatever. Shopping, right? Or whatever. We walk around the store, and once the bedding area got cleared out, meaning like once, not cleared out as in for the night, but cleared out as in nobody saw us, nobody was actively watching us, we jumped underneath the beds. So he jumped into a bed on my left, I jumped into a bed right here. And we jumped underneath. And we sat there, and we just laid there, and after some time, the lights cut off. This is in the mall. The lights cut off, and we're like, okay, cool. Like, so at the very least, we know, like, they haven't seen us, right? Because I would think if they seen us, they would have been like, hey, like, y'all two stowaways, get y'all's ass out of here. But apparently they didn't see us, so no harm, no foul. I'm not gonna worry about it. We're laying there. We lay underneath the bed for a while. I don't know exactly how long it was, but we were there for a while. And so we laid there long enough where it's got real quiet. And after it got real quiet, we ended up getting up from underneath the bed and just laid on the beds and just like chilled. So my thought for me was, hey, like, I'm not a thief. You know what I mean? But for me, I'm like, I just think it's eerie being in a department store overnight by yourself, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never been a thief. So, like, stealing stuff from out of the store was never on my brain. But I thought it would have been cool to, like, get up, walk around. Like, you see these movies where these people are in department stores or malls, and they're just, like, walking around, sliding on the escalator, stuff like that. Like, I thought, like, man, that'd be dope if we, like, could get up and, you know what I mean? Just kind of, like, act the fool in the store and then just get up and get out. And because I was like, I've always been semi-aware, because I'm like, you know what? I'm sure they got camera footage running all night. I'm sure. I'm not even thinking about like motion sensors. I'm not thinking about none of that. I'm just thinking about the cameras. So because of that, we didn't get up and do anything wild crazy. We just hung out right there in the bedding section, chopped it up, talked it out, whatever. Whatever, laughed about the situation, whatever. Boom, we leave. The next morning, we kind of get up. We walk around the store for a while. We wait. First we start waiting until we hear footsteps. So that tells us people are walking around. So then we kind of like look around. We slide out from underneath the beds. right? Because we got back under the beds once, like, it kind of got like later, and then got up, walked around the store for a while. Again, looked like we were getting some stuff, looking for some stuff, and then walked out of the store. Now the problem is this is still a Sunday, and we still don't have a ride home. You know what I mean? So by happenstance, my cousin ended up coming to the mall. Him coming to the mall was like our saving grace. He gave us a ride home, no harm, no foul. But a whole night had gone past, and we had no way to communicate with our people, right? So we get home, and we actually live like a block away from each other. So I could see his house from where my front steps were. And so he goes in his house, I go in my house. I know he's getting screamed at, I'm getting screamed at, right? And it's just kind of one of those things where, like, to this day, like I said, I hadn't talked to him in a while, but it's just, again, those memories, man, just having those situations, just kind of having to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? And looking to the right, like I said, or to the left of you, and knowing that the guy next to you is right there with you, I don't know, man. It's wild, man. It's a very crazy thing to have to deal with. When it's regular, you feel like it's regular when you grow up in it, and that moment in that environment is regular. Everybody does it. It's not until you get out of that environment and you come to a place like Texas where it's not as prevalent, or not even Texas, but I've been to almost all the states on the Eastern Coast, most of the Midwest states. I've done some traveling, and you realize through conversation that that's not really a prevalent thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very rare thing when you start talking to people and having an in-depth conversation with them, and it makes you appreciate those type of moments. You know what I mean? It makes you appreciate that type of camaraderie, even if it was due to the commonality of us all not having nothing. Like, you still have to appreciate the level of love in that moment that was shared amongst that group of guys. Now, of course, as everybody gets older, everybody's kind of spread out and moved here, moved there, and done their own thing, and they have their own, relationships, and not everybody keeps in contact. And, I understand that. But, for me personally, I'm just one of those type of people that if I have that bond with you, I don't care where I'm at. If I bump into you, it's love. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you tell me it's otherwise, because those memories are the ones that help shape me. Just like here in Texas, like when I move here, I have memories here that have helped shape me too. You know what I mean? But that was my back home, Browntown, west side of Wilmington, Delaware, man. Like that was a big part of who I am, and who I am and how I treat people that I really genuinely got love for stems from that. So for everybody that I bumped into since that in Texas, everybody I bumped into in Gonzales and Slow Town I live in, and everybody that I bump into that I show mad love to, or I try to do everything I can for you, it's not based on me being the best person on the planet. It's based on me having that background of knowing, like, you know what, like if we don't sit on the same page about anything else, it's about us trying to get to the next level. We agree on that. You know what I'm saying? It's about us trying to, or wanting to see each other do better. It's based on that. And I got that at maybe 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, like that, 11, 12 years old. I left and came to Texas when I was 13. So I get you some friends, man. get you some friends. Like don't get, it's cool to have some friends that are like up here and that you can like bounce ideas off of and all of that, I guess, is the moral of the story. But it's also good to have guys next to you and have guys around you that you could just talk to. You could just talk to. There's probably 3 or 4 people that I think I could pick up the phone right now and call that I'm not related to, because I don't really have a whole lot of family that I can call like that. But I'm thinking maybe 3 or 4 guys that I can call right now and just go, man, I don't want nothing. I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk. Shut up and just listen. They'd be like, all right, do what you got to do. They'll put the phone on speakerphone, probably go sit it over there and just listen to what I got going on, And a lot of times it might not be nothing but just venting, But the fact that I know I got some people like that makes all the world a difference, because it doesn't matter to them what my status may be or where I am in life. It doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is the person that I am. Like, hey, like, bro, need me? At least I can do is sit for free and just talk to them. You know what I mean? And those are the people that when it's time to go to the next level, those are the first people that I call and go, hey, look, listen, I got this thing shaking. What's going on? You in or you out? You know, because it comes full circle. You know what I mean? Paying it forward. You know, um, get you some friends, like some real friends, man. Get you some friends. It's it's hard these days to kind of figure out who's who, but the more people that do you wrong, it's actually a blessing in disguise because you'll appreciate the people that treat you right, even if it's the most unexpected people. Some people, I've had issues with once upon a time, and we good. I'm better with them than I am guys I've never had issues with. You know what I mean? You never know when somebody really is rooting for you. It just might come out of them a different way. It might sound like hate. It might sound like disrespect, but it really might not be. It really might be them cheering you on the whole time. You just ain't used to their language. You're not used to listening to it from them. You know what I mean? They may be just like you. I bump into people all the time, and they're like, "Hey man, I'm just like you." I go, "No, you're not like me. You're not like me. You might be close. You might have some characteristics, but the uniqueness of the way that I look at people and the way I handle people makes me a lot different when it comes to friendships. And I think anybody who watches this, who knows me, will agree to that. While I'm not perfect, I don't get it right every time. But if you rock with me, if I got a relationship with you, if you got my phone number, you can call me and I'll make time. You can call me, and if I can, I will. Even if it may hurt me in the moment, I will. You know what I mean? I've sat in my house and argued with my significant other over helping people that that I know probably wouldn't help me in that same situation. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't look at that as a back and forth thing. I look at it like, hey, the way I treat you is the way I treat you. One thing you'll never say about me is I'm a bad friend. You'll never be able to say I'm a bad homie. Like, you'll never be able to say that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I help you. It's because even when I can't, I try to figure out a way to make it work. You know what I mean? Because hell, like, for where I am in life right now, I never get too far from removed from where I used to be. I go home as much as I can. I talk to people from back home. I still do the things that I need to do to stay grounded. I never try to do this. Well, I'm up here, y'all are up here. When I go home, I'm in the hood. When I'm at home, I'm in the hood. I don't fly home to go stay in the outskirts. I'm staying north side. I'm staying 32nd Street, 33rd Street, north side, right by Lee Boulevard. People who know I'm home they know where I'm at. I'm in the hood. I'm driving around. You know what I mean? I'm riding through Browntown. I'm on Market Street. You know what I'm saying? I might slide through South Bridge. I'm on 4th Street under the bridge, hanging out. They remodeling under the bridge, but you know what I'm saying? I'm at the Hood McDonald's on 4th Street. I'm outside. It's 1 in the morning. I'm outside. I ain't been there in years, but it's home. I'm at the Chinese store. They shaking dice up. I'm at the Chinese store at 12:30 in the morning, checking the fries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at Fry Corner over on Washington Street. Fried scallops and crab sticks, like that. Like, that's who I am at heart. Like, when I'm able to sit down at nighttime and I think about everywhere I've been and the person that I've turned into, I can't start that conversation without those guys I grew up with. I can't start that conversation without having this conversation with myself about how I got here, because I didn't get here by myself. People may not have given me a leg up to get to where I'm at, but they've given me perspective. They've given me a lot of things that I can't buy, and those things have helped elevate my mental and my perspective to help get me to the next level. So yeah, I've done everything by myself, but my worldview stems from the people that I came up with when I didn't have shit. They stem from that. That's the people back home in Browntown. That's the people I roll with in Austin. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dove Springs, what up? If I'm gonna talk about Browntown, I gotta talk about Dove Springs too, right? So vice versa, both neighborhoods, two different versions of me. But if you ask people from Dove Springs, you ask people from Wilmington, I mean, the people who know me, they'll tell you, like, I'm solid through and through. And it's not because of my family. Like I said, it's because of my friends. It's always been because of my friends. So if you've ever been my friend, even people who don't like me at this point or may have maybe at odds with me, that never tell you I'm a bad person. we may have a disagreement about something, but they can never tell I'm a bad person. You know. Um, but like I say, the moral of the story is get you some friends, man. Get you some friends. Go invest. Go outside and have a good time, and then figure it out later. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying everything goes well in that situation. I don't. Every situation doesn't always end well, but go outside and make those memories, man. Because at the end of the day, without all this, when all this money goes away, at the end of the night, when it don't matter what you wearing, when it don't matter what you driving, at the end of the day, what you're gonna have is yourself. At the end of the day, and I'm able to know that at the end of the day, the person that I am when I'm laying down at night, or the person I am first thing in the morning when I wake up, is a solid cat based on these life experiences that I've had. I mean, I've got Brown Town stories, man, till the cows come home. I've got good stories. I got bad stories. I got stories, man. Like I really do, and I won't I won't bore y'all and just keep going. I'll just say, man, get you some friends. Like you may not have that many at this point. At the older you get, the less and less friends you'll have. One, because you just outgrow people, and number two, because sometimes envy is real in some people, and they can't help but be envious out loud. Back in the day, you can be envious in the closet, and maybe that's not a good term, but you could be envious behind the scenes, and it wouldn't come out. Now everybody wants clout, and everybody wants all these things, and the world has evolved into something else where you can't just go have a conversation with your brother and pull him to the side, and y'all just get to it, get the disagreement out of the way, and just get back to being brothers. And I hate that about the world, but you can only live in the world that's around you at the moment, and so that's how it goes. But there are genuine people still walking around. There really are. Like there's some genuine people in Austin that I came up with that, I mean, I'll take a bullet for them, literally. Like, I really feel like that. That's really what it is, and they know what it is with me. And again, I got moments with them. You know what I mean? Like I got moments with them. And that may be another little thing because I get homesick from Austin sometimes too, being out here in the country by myself. You know what I mean? Not by myself, but without my friends. It's an hour and 20-minute drive to go hang out with my friends. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that drive it sucks. Sometimes it's almost a 3-hour drive round trip. You know what I mean? Just to go hang out with the bros. You know what I mean, or whatever. So I'm definitely gonna be flying back home soon. I'm homesick, man. I should have wore my Delaware hat, but I won't. Um, but man, I appreciate everybody for rocking with me, man. I'm gonna keep this one short today, man. Like I said, I want to update y'all about where I've been the past few weeks. Definitely been talking to some millionaires and some people that are really ambitious about business and things that they do that I need to incorporate, and what I got going on and what you may need to incorporate and what you have going on if you want to get to the next level. So we definitely gonna talk about that here coming up too. But I just want to jump on here, holler at you, man, let you know, man, friends of the wave. May not be that many, but they the wave, whether you like it or not. Who you are and what you gonna be. You know, all stems from not even your support group, but your friends. And sometimes there's people that are bad friends, but they still teach you something along the way. So, with that being said, man, hey, Humble Talk Podcast, episode 10. We're going to cut this one short today. I'll catch you on the next one.
HTP, that was episode 10, and we out.